Hey, can I borrow your crystal ball? Oh, you don't have one either. Right. Welcome to frickin' business, man. Everything is changing all the time. And the rate of acceleration of the pace of change is constantly getting faster and faster and faster. Is this year of your business exactly the same as last year? Nope, mine neither. How about the year before that? Were those 2 years the same? Nope. Let's not even get into COVID. Let's not even get into the massive downturn in 2008, 2009. Business and the markets are constantly shifting. And yet we feel like we're going to put things in place in our business. And once we set them, we can forget them and be rigid, and that's fixed. We printed it, we put it in a manual, so we're done. It's not how business works. It's not how markets work. We have to remain flexible. We have to build the best possible plans that we can. We need to execute quickly on those plans, and then we need to be prepared to change. One of the things that has probably become clearer and clearer for me the longer and longer I coach is that people are always better making the best possible decision that they can in the moment and taking action on it. Even if that decision is off course in the beginning, as we collect data on that decision, we can course correct. As we collect data on that decision, we can realize what pieces of that weren't working, what pieces of that are needed. We need to add to it, we need to augment, we need to shift to. We're constantly adjusting. So, one of the things we want to do is yes, look back in the rearview mirror and take a look at the things that worked. Might those be a little bit of a predictor of what could be working now? Sure. But we also need to be looking through the windshield. In fact, that's where we need to spend most of our time looking. Look at the windshield. What are the leading indicators that would help us to understand where things are going to move to? I've been involved in the real estate industry for over 20 years. And one of the things that we know as a leading indicator is listings taken. Every time I take a new listing, that's a predictor of future business. But there's a better leading indicator, the listing appointment. But there's a better leading indicator, the activities and the conversion rates, activities and conversion rates of lead generation that sets an appointment. If I track those first line activities, they're the best indicator of where things are in the moment. So if all of a sudden it's taking me a lot more activity to get the same results, I already know things are shifting. I don't need to wait for months to see the reports come out to tell me they're shifting. I already know we're there. So I can already begin to examine how do we need to shift within the business to adjust to continue to go to the direction we want to go in. Our businesses have to remain flexible. And one of the challenges, I just make sure that you understand as you build your business, is we want to make sure that people have a clear understanding of that when we hire them for a role. I'll give you a quick COVID example. We were probably 90 days into COVID. We had shifted everything virtual. This is an organization that we were doing probably 8 to 10 different events live in a 3 or 4 day period, and now we're doing them all virtually. Well, in no one's work description did it say head of Zoom. And yet here we were on Zoom all the time, recordings, posting recordings, editing, da 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 da. We just needed to shift. Now, obviously, it's a dramatic example, and it's one that a lot of us can relate to. The shifts in your business are no different today. They might not feel quite so sudden. They might not feel quite so universal, but the dramaticness of shifts are still happening in the same way that they did then. Are you preparing for that? Are you creating an organizational culture that thrives on ingenuity and incentivizes people for the new idea that is in line with what the market needs right now? We have to be flexible. We don't have a crystal ball, but we need to make a decision. We need to take action on that and then track our results, because by tracking them, we're going to have a best indication of what adjustments we need to make. I'll leave you with this. You're better off picking an idea and starting to take action on it, knowing you can correct it over time, than waiting for the perfect answer in an ever-changing market.